the person just shrugged and walked it off and then came home to complain online. And the online complaint was, a lot of my clients are actually disabled, or they don't have cars, or they don't have the time. They work numerous jobs. And so they gave a bunch of reasons as to why someone would have their groceries delivered. And they were all very viable reasons. It's not always just laziness or being entitled. Some people are disabled and have a really difficult time dealing with the grocery store environment or even getting to the grocery store. And I found myself really pleased that, at least in that corner of the world, society has gotten to the point where they're able to make a choice as to whether or not they want to take the time and effort and energy to go to the store, or if their time, effort, and energy would be better spent elsewhere. I'm thinking of that pyramid of needs. You've got, okay, I need shelter, I need food, I need water, but then I also need contentment, and I need happiness. And once your base needs are met, you can move on to greater things. All right, that's it for the Angel Clark Show this week. We'll return next Wednesday. Until that time, remember, no army can stop an idea whose time has come.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
The Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.33 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,210 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $21, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,501. Antiwar.com reports tensions between Saudi Arabia and Canada are soaring since a Friday statement in which Canada expressed serious concerns about Saudi Arabia arresting human rights activists. On Monday, Saudi Arabia expelled Canadian Ambassador Dennis Horick. Saudi officials announced that they are suspending all flights to Toronto, freezing all new trade and investments in Canada, and are ending educational exchanges and are retaining its rights to take further actions against them. Trade between Canada and Saudi Arabia are limited at any rate. Canada buys some petrochemicals from the Saudis, and the Saudis have a deal with a Canadian unit of U.S. arms maker General Dynamics on armored vehicles. The Canadian Foreign Ministry does not appear to be backing down, saying they will continue to stand up for human rights and freedom of expression around the world. While the Saudis have relied on their international economic influence to throw their weight around in diplomatic disagreements, they are almost certainly not going to be able to drum up anti-Canadian sentiment to a great extent. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com. UPI reports a federal court ruled Tuesday that the mother of a teenager killed in Mexico by a U.S. Border Patrol agent shooting from across the border in Arizona can sue for damages. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued a 2-1 ruling denying Border Patrol agent Lonnie Schwartz qualified immunity, stating 16-year-old Jose Antonio Alana Rodriguez was protected against unreasonable searches and seizures, even though he was shot and killed in Mexico. Judge Andrew Kleinfeld wrote, based on the facts alleged in the complaint, Schwartz violated the Fourth Amendment. It is inconceivable that any reasonable officer could have thought that he or she could kill J.A. for no reason. Thus, Schwartz lacks qualified immunity. Schwartz was found not guilty in April of second-degree murder for the 2012 shooting, and a retrial is set to take place in October. In the criminal case, Schwartz said he was acting in self-defense against people throwing rocks through a border fence in Nogales, Arizona, when he shot Rodriguez in the back 10 times. Araceli Rodriguez, Jose's mother, argued her son was innocently walking down a street in Mexico and was not throwing rocks or engaging in any other illegal activity. To allow Rodriguez's mother to sue for damages, the Ninth Circuit Court ruled to extend the U.S. Supreme Court ruling of Bivens v. 6 unknown named agents of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, which held that a civil lawsuit can be filed against the federal government officials who violate the Fourth Amendment. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a trial in which a school groundskeeper alleged that his use of Monsanto's Roundup weed killer caused his terminal cancer will go to a California jury after lawyers for both sides delivered their closing arguments on Tuesday. Groundskeeper Dwayne Johnson is one of more than 5,000 plaintiffs across the United States who claim Monsanto's glyphosate-containing herbicides, including the widely used Roundup, cause cancer. His case, the first to go to trial, began in San Francisco's Superior Court of California 4 weeks ago. Johnson's lawyer, Brent Wisner, claimed Monsanto knew about glyphosate's cancer risk, but decided to bury the information. Monsanto, a unit of Bayer AG, following a $62.5 billion acquisition by the German conglomerate, denies the allegation and says expert testimony on which Johnson and others rely does not satisfy any scientific or legal requirements. The U.S. EPA in September 2017 concluded a decades-long assessment of glyphosate risk and found the chemical not likely carcinogenic to humans. The World Health Organization's cancer arm in 2015 classified glyphosate as probably carcinogenic to humans. The jury, which is expected to start deliberating on Wednesday, can decide to award punitive damages on top of the more than $39 million in compensatory damages Johnson is seeking. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
Zoo visitors watch the mating rituals of the ice cream shop staff, and a serious coworker puts on headphones to focus on his sandwich. Happiness is perpetually fleeting, so try to savor the next few minutes before it disappears once again. This is The Onion Week in Review. FBI officials announced they just can't bring themselves to bust a man who recently downloaded every season of the 1990s television show Picket Fences from a BitTorrent website. While stressing that pirating copyrighted material is strictly illegal, federal authorities expressed their sympathy for the man and claimed that perhaps the story of Sheriff Jimmy Brock and the strange events in a small Wisconsin town is all he has left to cling to.
We have more than enough evidence to bust him for piracy, but if the poor guy really wants to watch all 4 seasons of a 20-year-old CBS drama that nobody remembers, he's clearly going through a pretty big rough patch right now. And frankly, we don't need to make it any worse.
For statistical purposes, we have seized all private data from your personal computer, and we are disgusted with your recent internet search history. You sick f***. For more, keep checking theonion.com.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Computers are online. I'm gonna start loading software.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Call to Freedom.
Broadcasting live from Vertcoin Studios on LRN FM.
You're listening to Will.
You will listen to every damn word I have to say!
And Aria.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Stay tuned for political talk and everything crypto. That's right.
Broadcasting internationally on our BitPlus Network satellite.
This is
the Call to Freedom.
All right, let's boot it up.
That's right. Welcome here to the Wednesday edition of the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. It is another drive home broadcast here from the Zencash studio in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. Kind of a muggy, humid, hot, retarded day. Not enjoying this. Like, I thought we moved north to get away from this.
It's not that bad.
I guess I'm just more sensitive to it after on my second year. You just got here from Mississippi, so you were suffering. Go through one good New England winter, and your blood will thicken up some.
I'm always kind of cold anyway.
Yeah.
And you're always kind of hot anyway.
I am. My wife tells me, she's like, get the hell off me. You're like a human heater. Like, my kids have inherited it as well. So if she's in the bed, and there's 3 of us in the bed with her, there's me, and then there's my daughter, who is also very hot-natured like me. And then there's my other daughter, who is also very hot-natured like me, and they sweat like I do and everything else. And we're in bed with her, and she's like, it's like being in, like, we don't need a heater during the winter because you have us, because we radiate heat. Yeah. I steam when I walk around outside when it's really cold here. just by existing.
I don't walk around outside when it's really cold.
Oh, wait. Just wait.
I know.
You won't have a choice. You'll be like, so do I want food and to go to work, or do I want to stay here? I have to walk to the car.
Yeah.
Somebody get the shovel.
Well, I mean, once the temperature falls that low, I'm going to be cold perpetually anyway.
Right.
So
went to work today, and I get new update every time. Most of the academics that I follow, anytime they have new lectures that come out, I get updates. My phone dings. That little saxophone sound that you hear sometimes in the background, or you hear when you're around me, Aria. That little saxophone sound, 9 times out of 10 is either an update from Giguk, who is an anime reviewer that I'm a big fan of, or it's Zaid Shaker, Yasser Qadhi, Abdul Hakim Murad, Habib Ali, Hamza Yusuf, more often than any, has put up a new lecture from their university work, and here you go. And one of those that popped up today talked about the generation of the iPod person, and the reference comes from an old movie from I want to say the 60s, maybe the 50s, old black and white movie called Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and it was an allegory for communism and the removal of individualism. And he refers to the pod people, the shadows and the pod people. I was like, wow, that's kind of intriguing. And I wanted to play it for the audience because I know, a lot of us kind of see these these murmurings from the past that are actually happening now today, just in different ways than were originally thought that they would happen. So before we get too far in, because it's only about 4 minutes long, I'm going to go ahead and play this. It's called Just a Shadow. People today are just shadows of people. I should have done that.
And the worst thing is the computer. You know, all this Facebook, just get off Facebook. I'm giving you good advice. Get off Facebook. Get a life. Live with people. Visit people. Visit your relatives. Have tea with real human beings. Don't spend time with people that you don't know, or these distant people in some far corner of the earth, and you don't know your neighbors, you don't know the people around you. Really, it's a very weird time. Very weird. The earlier people, I mean, we are becoming autistic as a species. And it's not for nothing that autism is one of the fastest growing problems in Western countries. Autistic people, people that cannot function as human beings. They've lost their ability to function as normal human beings. So they're off in their own worlds. The iPod people, right? Pods, the invasion of the body snatchers. The pod takes over, right? It takes your being. That's why it's not I am a pod. They removed the verb to be and they just said iPod, because the being is no longer there. And then their image is a shadow with two little earphones coming out of their ear. It's just a shadow. There's no human there. You're just a shadow of a self. And this is the modern character in all his glory, with his little t-shirt that said I was stupid, and his shorts looking like he's 5 years old. And there he is with his little pot belly licking his ice cream cone as it drips down his hand. And he's watching somebody do break dancing on the boardwalk. This is Khalifatullah fil ard. Or there he is, or she, on this airplane that took all of this incredible ingenuity to create. Centuries of human beings working in mathematics, developing. The Muslims helped to bring about the airplane. And there he is on the airplane, the height of human evolution, and he's playing hangman on an iPad or solitaire to pass time, because he doesn't know what to do with his time anymore. Like the Bedouin on his way from Tamanrasset to Timbuktu, and the Frenchman said, how long does it take you to get there by camel? He said, it takes me 2 weeks. He said, I can make it in less than a day on my airplane. And the Bedouin said, what do you do with the time that you saved? Because he's out there in the middle of the desert looking up at the stars saying, Subhanaka ma khalaqta hada batila. And I know it's true because I live with them. Right? You own the human lives from Rome to Timbuktu. Lonely nomads wandering, oh, Telstar to you. Right? So, you decide what you want to do with your life. Most of you are still young people. You decide if you want to be one of those pod people, because they're all over the place. It's amazing. Watching the same empty films, talking about the same empty things, tweeting and chatting what they had for lunch to their friends who tweet back what they had for lunch, as if these were really important things that we should be using this incredible technology that took millennia to develop. And this is what we use it for.
All right, so when we get back here on... All right, so when we get back here on the Call to Freedom in just a moment, we're going to have a discussion of the hollowness of today's generation, both young and old, and how we've basically all checked out on life. And through that, our society's basically checked out on individualism. When we get back here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
After this morning's police raid on Cosmopolitan magazine's male pleasure laboratory revealed that test subjects were forced to endure horrific abuses and inhumane living conditions, Onion reporters spoke to 23-year-old Daniel Chertok, one of the numerous men exploited for the monthly magazine's studies on erotic stimulation.
It was awful. It drove us wild for days on end. Once they made me lather myself with gallons of sexy bath oils, and then read thousands of racy text messages until my eyesight began to blur. Then for the next 12 hours, they blasted sultry songs into my ears and made me simulate 50 crazy hot sex moves. They said I couldn't rest until they found the bliss button on my randy regions.
According to Chertok, test subjects were often subjected to hours of grueling experimentation at the hands of female scientists. Chertok added that many of his fellow subjects were not lucky enough to survive the excruciating treatment.
This is the Onion News Network.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free, at apps.lrn.fm.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.FM.
the conversation, give us a call, 603-283-6160. That's 603-283-6160. We've been talking about the pod people. That's right. The iPod people and the shadow generation. And basically the kind of a continuation of the discussion we were having yesterday on the shallowness of the last, 50 years probably of American society. And it started here, I'm not saying that like today's shallowness, 50 years ago shallowness are the same, but something happened in the Woodstock / World War II generation, one of the two, that broke, and something in society broke. I blame Dr. Spock. Not the one from Star Wars, the one that wrote books on how to parent. Not the one on
Star Trek.
Yeah, sorry, not the one on Star Trek, but the one who wrote all of those.
Triggered almost all the audience,
right? The one from Star Trek.
Hey, I love Doctor Who.
Right. Nanu. Anyway, so yeah, not the Dr. Spock from Star Trek. The one who wrote all the parenting books, who, by the way, all of his parenting strategies have since then been not only disproven, but they're seen as like, this is the worst thing that you could possibly do to your child's for their psychological and emotional well-being into adulthood. And he was like the most celebrated child psychologist in America for like 2 generations.
Well, I don't know how much of it is his problem and just overwhelming or overall confusion on the parts of people running around. What we have...
Well, the culture has changed so much.
Well, what we have now is kids raising kids.
Yes.
Who never went into adulthood, either because, as we talked about previously, because of a lack of rites of passages or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's what he was just talking about. He's like, this is the grand adult male. This is the khulafa of the world. This is man today, because man is supposed to be the khulafa, the vice regent of the earth. That's our purpose, is to protect and cultivate the earth. That's our job, and to learn to treat each other well. That's basically our job, according to Islam, to do those things. And that's what he's saying, basically, is like, this is what's supposed to pass for the vice regent of the earth today. Your 35-year-old anime con lives with his parents, wearing his I'm with stupid t-shirt, flip-flops, and a pair of board shorts like he's still a kid. And
I'm wearing flip-flops.
His ice cream cone dribbling down his fingers. He's a 6 foot tall 9-year-old, basically. And that's the culture now, is because it's not even kids. It is kids raising kids, because the kids that were raising kids before didn't raise them. They went to work because they had to, because the fat cats had crashed the economy so many times that there was literally no choice but for you. Plus, the family unit had been destroyed, so there was no father goes to work, mother stays home and takes kid. That was already on its way out in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s. When we were growing up, most of my friends lived with a step parent or with one parent or the grandparent. They didn't live with their moms and dads, and that situation has actually gotten more exasperated over time. And now factor in the fact that the state just loves to take people's kids away. So now you've got all these kids raised by the state in broken families, and then you've got kids in families that were broken because the parents weren't adult enough to understand what kind of a business proposition, so to speak, that marriage is. Like it's supposed to be.
Well, and it's worse than that.
Roses and rainbows. And
after that, they still fail to understand what a significant undertaking it is to have children.
Yes.
They think it's like getting a goldfish, and it's not going to require any more effort for them than that.
No, it doesn't work that way. Sorry.
It doesn't.
No.
But they don't understand that. And then they have these kids, and they don't know how to deal with them, so they yell, and they slap them in front of a TV, and they go, here, watch Nickelodeon for the next 9 hours. And
I do that
television
sometimes.
racers.
I do.
Yeah, but you don't do it habitually.
No.
And these
I
people
spend
do.
like 4 hours painting rocks with my kids and stupid stuff like that, So
I mean, I've seen kids who have panic attacks when the television turns off.
yeah.
Because they've just been around
You
it
know
their
me. I'm
entire
not going to
life.
stand for that nonsense. Nope. It's book time. Sorry. Oh, you're going to act. Well, then I guess we just don't need to have the TV, do we?
Yeah.
Oh. And they know I'm not. I will unplug. I will put the cord away. And they know because they've seen me do it before. Turning the TV off is more than you can handle. Give me the cord.
Yeah.
But give me the cord. The 360 that you just saw me give them.
The people I'm talking about, they don't simply cry and throw a fit. They have full on anxiety attacks.
Panic attacks, yeah.
Inconsolable.
My kids
throwing
do that
up.
when we have to leave the library. Like my daughter will throw herself on the ground and have an absolute fit.
Well, see, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about people who have, real anxiety attacks who become so sick from the anxiety that they end up vomiting and they can't think straight and they might even fall unconscious. It's a real result that I've seen happen in people.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But now I've got a brother that's like this. My younger brother, constantly attached, tethered to Sega Game Gear, the handheld Sega. Now I had a Game Boy, but Game Boy was for when I was in the car. That's what it was for,
Right.
When I was at home, it got plugged in so the battery could charge. Lost in my toy box, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it's time to go for a trip, we find it and break it back out again. But if I'm at home, Xbox. What do I need a little mini Sega for? I got a TV. I got a Nintendo. I got a basketball hoop in the backyard. I got 2 bicycles. I got some rollerblades. That's right. I had rollerblades. It was 1993. Leave me alone.
I have rollerblades too. What's wrong with rollerblades?
What the hell I need all this other stuff for? I'm like, what do I need all that for? I don't need it at all. I got other stuff to do.
Yeah.
And even now, he is the member of the family that is aloof. I haven't spoken to him since the year after my wife and I got married. So that's 8 years now since I've spoken to him. And it's always been like that. I haven't seen him since he was 16. That's just the way. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The pod generation, where people have just checked out on family, checked out on life.
Excuse me, is this where I get a license to start a new business?
I wouldn't be hasty. You have to get a license to go out of business, too,
Oh, well, look, I've invented this little anti-gravity machine, see?
Is that why you're walking 2 inches above the floor?
Oh, yes, it's very comfortable. It saves on shoe leather.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out these forms and report to the Human Services Department of Manpower Orientation and register with the Fair Employment Practice Commission, the Wage and Hour Division of the Employment Standards Administration, the State Sales and Income Tax Division, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, and, of course, OSHA.
OSHA? I thought that was a little town in Wisconsin.
You'll find out. Say, floating around like that could be dangerous. Have you checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Well, not yet.
Come to think of it, you actually are flying, aren't you? Look, you need to go over to the Federal Aviation Administration and the Transportation...
It's very hard to get anything done these days if you're in business, but free enterprise built this country. Think what could happen if we don't keep it free. A public service of this station and the Center for the Defense of Free Enterprise, Bellevue, Washington.
We just can't have people floating about unregulated,
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom live on LRN.FM. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
They're coming to get you. That's right. We're back here on the Call to Freedom here on the LRN.FM. And, well, we're talking about the invasion of the iPod people, the shadow people, the empty suits and empty faces that you pass on the street, in the mall, in the grocery store every single day, and that as we slowly become a part of the hive mind of the computer world, well, our entire society slowly but surely turns its back on the entire concept of the individual. As Hamza put it, the new person in the advertisements is simply a shadow holding a new shiny piece of technology. The person is gone. The individual has been sacrificed.
I don't know that there really is going to be a connection there, though. I'm a pretty staunch individualist.
You don't see Facebook as a giant beehive, and that as more and more people become a part of the hive, individualism goes out the window, and little sections of the hive box themselves off from other sections of the hive.
I mean, that's why I deactivate from Facebook regularly. I did so earlier today. That, and I got sick of being told happy birthday on a day that's not actually my birthday. So that gets annoying.
It's like a giant Borg collective, but the engineers all cordon themselves off with the engineers.
It is, and it's predictable. Like, you had the 3D gun files, so naturally you had everyone within our circle spamming the link, and then you had Alex Jones and everyone within our circle spamming the link. So I mean, yeah, there is a lot of, we want to be individuals, but none of us actually have the capacity to be individuals. So we're just going to do what everyone else is doing to fit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what's...
But I don't think Facebook is the problem. Facebook just gave them a new way to do it.
An easier mass way.
Yeah.
Facebook
made it where they could do it from their homes with their thumbs.
For real, yo. Like, you don't even have to leave home to be propagandized to now.
Yeah.
You can just sit right there and soak it. You don't have to go to we broadcast our khutbahs, the sermons that we give at the mosque that I'm at, on Facebook. We get more views on Facebook than we have people in the congregation. We get more shares sometimes on Facebook than we get, and that's people sharing it, like these aren't paid for promotional, no, this is just, we put it up, I come back tomorrow, and there's literally sometimes twice as many shares as there are people that were in the room when I gave the sermon.
Yeah. But I mean,
so it can be a useful tool, but what I see a lot of times, and I did it for a while.
Well, that's like what he was saying, it's this incredible invention, and it puts an incredible amount of power at our fingertips, and we use it to watch cat videos.
And argue with each other over stupid things.
Yeah.
To virtue signal at each other and call each other pedophiles and statists.
And Nazis.
Yeah. Because everybody is a pedophile statist Nazi today. Why?
Because they didn't virtue signal loudly enough.
Well, isn't that the whole thing? You have to signal to the mob or risk becoming targeted by it. I'm sorry, I have to sometimes. Who's literally Hitler? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Of course. Why not? Of course. Yes. Absolutely.
Everyone I don't like is literally Hitler. Everyone except for me.
Not me, of course.
Everyone I hate is a literal Nazi, literal Nazi, literal Nazi. Everyone I hate is a literal Nazi. Let's have a look and see. Jordan Peterson,
Nazi.
Gamergate, Nazi.
Definitely a Nazi.
Feminist, Nazi.
Absolutely Nazi.
Nazi.
Yes.
Obama, Nazi. George W.
Nazi.
Nazi. Bill Clinton,
Nazi.
Ronald Reagan, Nazi. Yeah, everyone I hate is a literal Nazi. Everyone except for me.
All right, so, and that's our culture today. In 2 verses. Everyone I don't like is literally Hitler, and everyone I hate is a literal Nazi. No, it's not just a political.
No, that's just the political side of Facebook. That is a large side, but there is this entirely other side that is just dedicated to other ridiculous crap that also doesn't have any impact on their actual lives that people can just fixate on. I mean, you do have the entire aspect of Facebook of just soccer moms telling each other what they had for lunch.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
I have a pretty good. I actually had a thing. I was like a tale of 2 posts, right? In one, I'm raising Cain about something I'm not happy with in the political realm. It got 170 likes and 280 comments and 55 share. It was moving. People were interested in it, right? Then I did the video where I was announcing that we were going to be going down to do the Sadaka.io thing. 3 likes. Yeah, that's it. So a post about plans to try to revolutionize charity in a stateless way. and me with a huge libertarian following, nobody cared. But bitching about some stupid nonsense that some jackrabbit had to say in the midst of the chairs race, now that got lots of movement. And that's one of the things.
You got to consider your audience.
Well,
and
that's
you offered them drama.
It's not just our audience, though. See, that's one of the things that when I first started working, doing the thing with TJ Maxx, right, going in and doing the cleaning about a month ago, I was listening to some new lectures of his then, and one of them he talks about. He's like, humankind have become fitna. Fitna in Arabic can be a word for like civil strife or civil war or drama in general, and that we've become like that American culture, Western culture in general, not just in America, has become, and actually, not even just Western culture, because he was complaining about like Arabs and North Africans are engaging in this stuff now too, where we seek out drama. We are looking for the up close and personal reality show, the soap opera that we can watch.
Everybody wants to
rubberneck. We're social rubberneckers.
I mean, because we live vicariously that way.
Yeah.
That is how we get to experience life, is through other people's eyes
instead of through our own.
Yeah. So I mean that we thrive on that drama
because it gives us something to focus on instead of our own miserableness.
Yeah, which is perpetuated by staring at the screen that's shining with these silicon ones and zeros.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
You know how annoying it is when someone keeps stopping mid-sentence as though he or she were asking you a series of questions? Avoid doing that. It sounds unnervingly tentative, and it imposes upon the listener to help you complete the thought. And if you're a job seeker, this alone could be a deal killer. An effective communicator sounds more confident. Complete the thought. Avoid making the listener impatient. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important. Cutting through the clutter rather than blending into the blah, blah, blah will help you connect better no matter what the conversation. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook. Survivalspeech.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Are you sick of government lackeys who say you didn't build that? Are you tired of elitists who think you need a government permission slip for everything? Everything you do is an A to B conversation, and the government should see their way out of it. Create true free markets by adopting the BIPCOT No Government License. The BIPCOT No Gov license allows use or modification of any product, service, or software except by governments or government agents. Go to BIPCOT.org. That's Bravo, India, Papa, Charlie, Oscar, Tango.org.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets. Free Talk Live.
You guys are just penguins. You're lemmings.
I'm a penguin. I'm a lemming.
Walking off the. Do you know what a lemming is?
Yeah, well, it's a little rodent that people claim jump off of cliffs.
It's not a rodent. It's a penguin, and you just walk off.
Lemming's a penguin?
That's a new one.
They're penguin
Yeah, it is.
I'll
It's
check
a
it out.
penguin, dude.
No, it's
and
not.
You just walk
It's a little
off the
rodent.
cliff. You're rigged. It's rigged.
Hold on, Mark is correct. A lemming, according to Wikipedia, is a small rodent. It is found usually near the Arctic. Together with voles and muskrats, they make up the subfamily.
She was really just confused. It doesn't make a difference. So what? It's
They're related to rats, mice, hamsters, and gerbils.
But they do jump
not
off
penguins.
But they do jump off cliffs, don't
No,
they?
they don't. They don't jump off cliffs. It's an analogy.
Oh my God! You didn't live. You guys are too young.
Beverly, you turned my world upside down. Lemmings don't jump off cliffs?
Man,
They do in the video game.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.fm.
Is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire, 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 fire,
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Zencash studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And it's another beautiful day here in the Shire. We're still waiting on some ad copy from our new sponsors over at Bean Cash.
Awesome.
If you're trading Bean Cash for Doge right now, prices are going up. But everywhere else, they're taken beaten.
Well, I mean, if it can be swapped into Doge, that's not a bad idea because Doge is usually flipped into other things.
Yeah. I love that. I love that it's a trading pair. Doge is part of trading pairs. It's so awesome.
I mean, it is on just about every exchange I've been to. It's Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Doge. Always at least those three. Usually Ethereum, but not always because Ethereum sucks.
Yeah. Dollar tethers.
Yeah.
Dollar tethers. It's another one. Anyway, so we've been talking about the pod people, the sacrificing of the individual in the name of, well, I'm going to say it's that consumerism is why the individual is being sacrificed, and that technology, even when there's nothing new, like the iPad, the iPhone, like I got to have the iPhone 5. Well, why? Well, because I don't have the iPhone 5. I need the iPhone 5. You get 4 more megapixels in the camera. It's like, does that really change anything at all about? Yes, absolutely. It's so like exactly the same.
One of the other things he mentioned was, autism and the autism of society at large. I think autism is a fascinating topic by itself.
Yes.
Because it came from somewhere and we don't seem to know where. I know that people like putting out the argument that, it's because the diagnostic criteria changed, so now more people are being diagnosed with it. And, sure, that works if you're really gullible and really stupid. But see, I have this capacity called the ability to think. So I can look in my family history and judge people based on their behavior and their actions and determine whether or not they would meet what I determine to be autistic. And when I see none of those such people in my family tree, but I see 6 of my 8 nephews and nieces exhibiting those characteristics, it's pretty conclusive that something
It
is
came
wrong.
from somewhere, and it wasn't there before.
And they're like, oh, but you may have had a great-grandmother and she just wasn't diagnosed with it. But look, I'm telling
She
you, my
didn't
great-grandmother didn't act this
like
way.
this. Yeah. See, that's another thing for us. Same thing for us. Like the best thing is we know the family that's back in Ireland. We know them still.
Awesome.
We know the family that's back in southern Scotland and northern England. We know them. They have our last name. There's whole areas of the country that are named after my family back home. So we know those people. So we know if it was back then.
Yeah.
And there's only been 8 generations born in this, 8 generations in this country. And at most times, there are at least 5 generations alive. Like right now, my daughter, having a daughter, gives us my daughter's daughter, my generation, my mother's generation, my grandmother's generation. All 5 generations alive at the same time. Okay, well, my great-grandmother died about, see, my daughter's 18. She died 3 years after my daughter was born. So about 15 years ago, my great-grandmother died. Before that, we had 6 living generations because her mother died the year before she died. So my great-grandmother was alive until I was in my 20s, and I had a kid. So we had 6 or 7 living generations. Every generation except for the generation that came here was alive at the same time. And guess what? And none of them have any of these problems. None of my cousins have any of these problems.
And I want to be
their
clear that
kids
I'm not
do.
saying it's vaccines causing it. I don't think that. I think that science has long been discredited. But something is absolutely happening. And my personal hypothesis is that it's the state doing it intentionally. I don't know what mechanism they're doing, but what does the state want? It wants the entire population. Just read 1984 or Brave New World, and realize that we do have those kind of people in power. That's what they want, is people who are smart enough to work and smart enough to push a button, but too dumb to realize how utterly enslaved they are.
Like what we already have in about, I'm going to say 65 to 70% of the population already.
Yeah.
You've got...
Yeah, only this becomes permanent, because it's...
it is permanent now, I think, and it has been for a few generations. I'm saying the Cold War, when we got into World War I and World War II, and instead of disbanding the military, we just continued on with the Cold War and everything else. That was the generational acclimating to this behemoth that we have today.
Yeah.
Orwell was warning us that it was happening. Like, hey, this is the end goal of what's going on around you.
Yeah.
And we are getting closer and closer. They literally redefine words on the fly now.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen me arguing with someone.
We talked about it yesterday with the
We'll just redefine the word on the fly.
Yeah. Let's say that men can have vaginas and get pregnant. I'm sure, why not?
Can you believe somebody thought that I was like, I think it's good that the government's forcing people to pay for sex assignment surgery.
Yeah, what the hell were they talking about?
I have no idea.
It's like, do we have to virtue signal? I mean, is that because that's what they were asking?
Yeah.
You know?
Why didn't Will virtue signal that he doesn't like state-run health care? Because you're listening to a libertarian agorist's radio show, you idiot.
Where we were talking about something else.
For real. I'm discussing... we already understand that it is idiocy to have a state-run healthcare system. We were making fun of the exponentially larger idiocy of, well, what we want is we want to sue the government because they won't give us 2 treatments that actually work against each other at the same time. Can I get some treatments that stop me from being a girl while at the same time fill me with hormones that encourage me to get pregnant?
It doesn't make any more sense the second time I hear it.
It does. It makes about as much sense as thinking that this radio show supports the NHS.
Yeah.
sometimes, man, I ask myself, like, do people, like, this isn't speech where you can say something and be like, oh, oops, you know what? I misspoke. Fool, you wrote this down and you said it. Did you read it?
Yeah.
And then send it. It's like and people are going to get mad at me about this, but I don't really care. The quote unquote mosque at Ground Zero. It's 3 blocks away. I get it. Great. Awesome. It's 3 blocks away. But did you guys write the idea down and like pass it around a room of people that weren't your friends or yes men that you knew? How about this? Did you go to the park? Just go to the park with a little thing and ask the question, do you think it would be a good idea to build a mosque 3 blocks from Ground Zero?
And keep in mind that people saying, no, I don't think that's a good idea, are not violating your right to free religion.
Yeah, by saying that they don't think that it's a good idea. I ask myself, like, when I saw it come out on TV the first time, I just looked at it and I was like, they can't have run this through a focus group at all. And they're like, no, we did. We focus grouped it. Glenn Beck loved the idea. And I was like, Glenn Beck saw this and was like, oh my God, I'm going to make so much money when they announce this, because people are going to flip the hell out. Idea, I think it's a great idea. Could you build 2? Can you go 3 blocks on either side? That's what I'd prefer. No. I think it's an awesome idea that's going to shoot my ratings through the roof. Oh my God, these guys are so
Well, I
stupid.
think, a mosque at Ground Zero is actually, I do think it's a good idea. I think that America isn't ready for it, but I think the idea is good.
I think I just think that, like I said, they couldn't have run it through a focus group. And
no, because that focus group would have been full of Americans who said, excuse me?
You're an idiot. Well, here's the problem, though. Everything people say today should be run through a focus group, evidently, and called their brain, and none of them ever.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene, the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.33 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,210 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $21, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,501. Antiwar.com reports tensions between Saudi Arabia and Canada are soaring since a Friday statement in which Canada expressed serious concerns about Saudi Arabia arresting human rights activists. On Monday, Saudi Arabia expelled Canadian Ambassador Dennis Horrick. Saudi officials announced that they are suspending all flights to Toronto, freezing all new trade and investments in Canada, and are ending educational exchanges and are retaining its rights to take further actions against them. Trade between Canada and Saudi Arabia are limited at any rate. Canada buys some petrochemicals from the Saudis, and the Saudis have a deal with a Canadian unit of U.S. arms maker General Dynamics on armored vehicles. The Canadian Foreign Ministry does not appear to be backing down, saying they will continue to stand up for human rights and freedom of expression around the world. While the Saudis have relied on their international economic influence to throw their weight around in diplomatic disagreements, they are almost certainly not going to be able to drum up anti-Canadian sentiment to a great extent. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com. UPI reports a federal court ruled Tuesday that the mother of a teenager killed in Mexico by a U.S. Border Patrol agent shooting from across the border in Arizona can sue for damages. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued a 2-1 ruling denying Border Patrol agent Lonnie Schwartz qualified immunity, stating 16-year-old Jose Antonio Alana Rodriguez was protected against unreasonable searches and seizures, even though he was shot and killed in Mexico. Judge Andrew Kleinfeld wrote, based on the facts alleged in the complaint, Schwartz violated the Fourth Amendment. It is inconceivable that any reasonable officer could have thought that he or she could kill J.A. for no reason. Thus, Schwartz lacks qualified immunity. Schwartz was found not guilty in April of second-degree murder for the 2012 shooting, and a retrial is set to take place in October. In the criminal case, Schwartz said he was acting in self-defense against people throwing rocks through a border fence in Nogales, Arizona, when he shot Rodriguez in the back 10 times. Araceli Rodriguez, Jose's mother, argued her son was innocently walking down a street in Mexico and was not throwing rocks or engaging in any other illegal activity. To allow Rodriguez's mother to sue for damages, the Ninth Circuit Court ruled to extend the U.S. Supreme Court ruling of Bivens v. 6 unknown named agents of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, which held that a civil lawsuit can be filed against the federal government officials who violate the Fourth Amendment. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and Numery supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a trial in which a school groundskeeper alleged that his use of Monsanto's Roundup weed killer caused his terminal cancer will go to a California jury after lawyers for both sides delivered their closing arguments on Tuesday. Groundskeeper Dwayne Johnson is one of more than 5,000 plaintiffs across the United States who claim Monsanto's glyphosate-containing herbicides, including the widely used Roundup, cause cancer. His case, the first to go to trial, began in San Francisco's Superior Court of California 4 weeks ago. Johnson's lawyer, Brent Wisner, claimed Monsanto knew about glyphosate's cancer risk but decided to bury the information. Monsanto, a unit of Bayer AG, following a $62.5 billion acquisition by the German conglomerate, denies the allegation and says expert testimony on which Johnson and others rely does not satisfy any scientific or legal requirements. The US EPA in September 2017 concluded a decades-long assessment of glyphosate risk and found the chemical not likely carcinogenic to humans. The World Health Organization's cancer arm in 2015 classified glyphosate as probably carcinogenic to humans. The jury, which is expected to start deliberating on Wednesday, can decide to award punitive damages on top of the more than $39 million in compensatory damages Johnson is seeking. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
George W. Bush may be retired from politics, but he's keeping busy with his new hobby of painting. Today, the Picasso-in-chief tweeted his latest picture, a turkey sandwich and glass of lemonade in front of the ghost of the Iraqi child that follows him everywhere. Rebecca Mira has been following the flourishing art career. He's pretty good, Rebecca.
Yeah, well, Rachel, Bush doesn't claim to be a great artist, but as he put it, not bad for an old man, huh?
Not bad at all. He says he likes painting simple things he sees in everyday life, like his dogs, that dead Iraqi child. You can see that Bush's art is improving over time if you take a look. At first, he could barely draw the Iraqi child's transparent hands, but now they look much more realistic.
Much more. You know, I'm not surprised that he's getting better. Bush practices constantly.
And Laura Bush says he's more focused than ever, locks himself away for hours at a time, and won't talk to anyone while he's painting.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if history will look back on Bush as a politician or the next Rembrandt. Up next, a study found that drinking red wine once a day can help the body get hammered.
This is the Onion News Network.
The Call to Freedom is an opinion show. It's meant for informational purposes only. It is not licensed financial advice. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with or independently research and verify any information that you hear from the Call of Freedom and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. I mean, come on, guys. Duh. It's a cryptocurrency investment and a political talk radio. Of course, it's opinions.
Hodl. Hodl.
You better hold on for dear life, because it's time for the Crypto Hour, brought to you by motionproject.org here on the Call to Freedom.
That's right. It's time for our Crypto Hour here on the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. Crypto Hour is brought to you by the Motion Project over at motionproject.org. And we had some stories here for everyone's favorite mega corporation, Walmart. Walmart's got some stories that came out in the last couple of days, both of them involving some pretty decent technology and some patents that were applied for. First, coming from CMS Connected, Walmart and Microsoft are teaming up in a joint interest, beating Amazon. At Microsoft's Inspire Partner Conference last week, Walmart announced that they're partnering with Microsoft to use their cloud service offerings to improve Walmart's forecasting, purchasing, and data sharing abilities. Walmart, the world's largest retailer, has agreed to a 5-year term with Microsoft to use their cloud tech and artificial intelligence to optimize their workflow by integrating their data more deeply into Azure. The company hopes that the new AI and machine learning algorithms will make it easier to streamline deliveries, cut costs as it continues to expand its online offerings. Those now include grocery pickup, smart home tech installation, and more, in addition to traditional online purchases. Microsoft is also working on technology that could be used to power the new checkout-free retail stores, which are a perfect fit for Walmart's future plans. Sound familiar? You may remember when Amazon launched their first cashier-free convenience store in Seattle back in January of 2018. Since Walmart is Amazon's biggest retail competitor and Microsoft is its biggest cloud computing competitor, what does this mean for Amazon? Well, with the recent purchase of Whole Foods last year for nearly $14 billion, Amazon became the second biggest private employer in the country behind Walmart. So even though Walmart's chasing Amazon in some respects, Amazon's still nipping at the heels of Walmart in areas that Amazon lags behind. There's a different valiant effort being performed by Walmart to excel in every respect. But if they truly want to catch Amazon, here's a closer look at what they should be doing. Years ago, we all wondered what shopping would look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you wanted, and simply walk out. What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store? So you never have to wait in line, no checkouts, no registers. Fast forward to 2018, and when you where you can now use the Amazon Go app when you enter, put away your phone, and simply start shopping. Amazon Go is a technology that uses computer vision, deep learning algorithms, and sensor fusion, many of the same advances being used to develop self-driving cars. The app keeps track of what you pick up and put back on the shelves and charges you for your final items when you leave through sensing gates. All you do is sign in with an Amazon Go app when you enter the store and shop as you normally would. On the back end, Amazon's technology detects everything you're taking or returning to shelves, all while keeping track of your virtual shopping cart. When you walk out, Amazon charges your account, sends you a receipt. Let's see.
I wonder if people are more inclined to spend more money when they shop that way versus traditional shopping.
Well, I heard that they did this in a city in Tennessee, and they're pulling them out at Walmart. That there was 150 stores that Walmart did this in, and one of them is in Tennessee, and they're shutting them down already because of problems with theft. Because
shocking.
People are shoplifting more.
I mean, isn't this what happened with these self-checkouts? Theft skyrocketed? Well, I mean, duh. You give people a way to scan their own items, and they're going to forget to scan that 12 packs of Coke underneath their carts.
Yeah.
I know people who
man.
do this,
I used to know a cat that used to go through, and he would buy 4 locks and scan one, and then he would hold like a pack of Tic Tacs or something and run the lock over it, and it would beep, and then he would put it all in the bag, and he would leave. And then he would go to another Walmart and take the lock sets back and get his money back for him. And he'd hit Walmart for like $50 to $75 at a time. And he'd be going to get like new doorknobs for his house. But he'd steal 3 and get money back for those 3. So he'd get his doorknob for free and then a free $50.
I mean, I can't fault him for it. Walmart created the environment that allowed it to happen. So they should have tested that, or just hired someone from the real world who was like, "This, you're going to do this, and this is what's going to happen."
Yeah, you're going to need someone there watching people. You're going to need a way to weigh things. You're going to need a way to scan and make sure that things are getting,
Yeah.
We get the only thing that it doesn't is weight, and even then, it doesn't know how much an item should weigh.
Yeah.
It just knows some weight should go here. It notices when I put my milk in the cart after I scan it, instead of
badly, it recognizes badly
instead of me putting it over there. Yeah, and then it gets mad. It's like, why didn't you put this over here? Well, I mean, I rang it up, so why the hell does it matter where I put it? I rang it up. You've got a tally of the fact that I'm paying for it. Why do you care what I did with it after I threw it? I poured it out on the ground. Who cares? I'm paying for it.
I don't know.
What should happen is when you put something down that you didn't ring up, and it's like, hey, what are you doing, Willis? That's what there should happen. No. It waits till you ring it up and then goes, well, the computer is confused. Why didn't you put this in a bag? Because I didn't want to put it in a bag. Why the hell does it matter?
Yeah. If I scan the next item and you don't detect anything in the bagging area, just go ahead and push the skip bagging button for me. I mean, come on. This is not that hard.
Why should I have to skip bagging?
Well, you shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. You should just be able to do whatever you want with it. And the software should respond and go, okay, well, he's scanning something else. Clearly, he doesn't want to bag it.
For real.
So let's move on. But I mean, absolutely, you do have to have some kind of way to make sure that the thing going into the bagging area is one lock or a little packet of Tic Tacs and not a much more expensive lock. And it sounds like Amazon has those in place already.
Yeah.
I imagine
Walmart
using
is saying
RFID chips.
We're going to do all that. They're teaming up with Microsoft to create that technology and to roll it out in a bunch of stores. The problem is already they've got stores in, I can't remember the name of the town, but there's a town in Tennessee that they've already got them, and they're already closing them down because people are walking out with so much stuff, and they've got no way of. So what do you like? Is it like a laser scanner that scans? So what?
It would have to be RFID, something, or NFC, something that's always
communicating. How does when you walk? It says when you walk out the door knows what you've got.
Yeah, well, yeah. Each item would have to have its own unique signature that it's broadcasting.
Oh wow!
And when it passes,
that's going to be expensive. What's that? And that's what they're going to do. They're going to be like, well, we fired all our staff, and then we had to offset. We had to put this thing in, and the reason why we fired all our staff and the prices went up is because, well, we had to offset the cost of all this crap that we did that we had to do now because we fired everybody. I can already see it's going to be this giant redundancy where you're just like,
hey, but let's fight for 15.
Shut up, Walmart. Just burn to the ground and go back into the nothingness from which you came.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Lil Drums. Every bit as fun as a full-size Nestle drumstick cone, and definitely cuter. Visit us at drumstick.com. Vacations are all about family time, but you don't have to leave home to have fun. Take 1 weekend a month and devote it to family activities. Pull out the board games and puzzles, serve up some treats, or have a picnic. Even without leaving home, you'll feel like you've really had some time away. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way. You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me. Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait on account. Now. Wait a minute.
Whoa.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
The 3 most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveatpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveatpurse.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Very superstitious writings on the wall. Very superstitious letters about to fall. 13-month-old baby broke the looking glass. 7 years of bed.
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Zencast studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And we got another story for you about Walmart. This one seems Walmart's pretty superstitious these days. They have signed up for a patent on some spying technology. It says here, Walmart gains a patent. Of course, this is CNET.com, by the way. Walmart gains a patent to eavesdrop on shoppers and employees in store. The system would pick up scanner beeps, wrestling bags, and private conversations. Walmart this week was awarded a U.S. patent for a new listening system for its stores that could raise serious privacy concerns for its shoppers and for its workers. Walmart.
Yeah, this has bad idea written all over it.
According to the filing, the system would capture a variety of sounds in the store to figure out employees' performance and effectiveness at checkout. For instance, the system can be used to capture beeps produced by a scanner and the rustling of bags at checkout to find out the number of items in a transaction or even the number of bags used. More alarmingly, the patent mentions that the system could be used to listen to guests' conversations to determine the length of checkout lines. Quote, additionally, the sound sensors can capture audio of conversations between guests and an employee stationed at the terminal. The patent states the system can process the audio of the conversation to determine whether the employee stationed at the terminal is greeting guests. The new concept hasn't been implemented at Walmart stores, and Walmart didn't say whether or not it ever will be. Wow, does that not sound like government? They're like, well, you know, we've got the ability to indefinitely detain American citizens, but we're not going to actually do it.
They didn't apply for the patent for nothing, you know. If they applied for it, they're going to use it.
No way. You can trust them. I mean,
out of all the people I trust, I would trust Walmart before the government, but not by much.
Not by much, right? Not by much.
I mean, they're so close to being a government themselves, or being a state themselves, that trusting them would be kind of foolish. But I mean, this is better than their whole, let's put a bunch of delivery kiosks on the blockchain or whatever the crap they were trying to do.
Yeah.
So
that's the whole thing.
There's that.
Okay, so the new concept's not okay. The patent comes at a time of heightened concern about user privacy and data following Facebook's Cambridge Analytica scandal. Shoppers are worried about being recorded in stores. They may opt out to avoid those locations or perhaps shop online instead. Is that going to be what has to happen? That if you don't want to be spied on by businesses, you have to shop from home? And even then, they're collecting your metadata that they can use to advertise. So they're spying on, like, no matter what you do, businesses are spying on you. The patent also points to efforts by retailers, including Walmart, to upgrade their technology to keep up with Amazon, the leader in e-commerce. I'm not really sure what spying on customers' conversations has to do with keeping up with Amazon, unless the point is to push people to shop online so that they can close stores.
Could be.
Again, when I heard about this is what I said. When they fire all the staff at the store and there's not a compensatory drop in prices, I just won't shop there.
Well, I mean, we know there won't be.
I'll shop at Amazon. That's what they'll do. See, what they'll do is by firing all of those people, they will encourage me to shop at Amazon.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will do that. They will say, oh, so you're just like, your whole purpose is to screw over the average American. Well, Amazon's better at this than you are. Walmart's basically going to work itself into obsolescence.
Well, what's interesting about Walmart is that, I mean, we kind of need them right now in the places where they're at because they chased everyone else out of business.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what if everyone was employed by Walmart and did all of their shopping at Walmart? The ecosystem of that would not be able to survive the long run.
No.
I mean, because Walmart would lay off its employees, and those are also its shoppers.
Exactly.
So, I mean, what is the...
Well, that's what's going on.
Yes.
That's what they're saying. They're like, we're going to lay off all of our shoppers.
Exactly.
We want McDonald's to lay off the other half of our shoppers.
And then we'll win because...
people who have no
magic.
money will shop online.
Yeah.
Yeah. Says Walmart is trying to keep up with Amazon and already developing a handful of new technologies for its stores, including shelf-scanning robots. This patent is a concept that would help us gather metrics and improve the checkout process by listening to sounds produced by the bags, carts, and cash registers and not intended for any other use. Again, how that makes them catch up with Amazon's e-commerce, I have no idea.
It's not intended for other use.
The company said in a statement, we file patents frequently, but that doesn't make the patents mean that the patents will actually be implemented. We're always thinking about new concepts and ways that will help us further enhance how we serve our customers.
So they just got one of their attorneys to just draw up a patent to this idea they had, and they're like, oh, we just like getting things patented.
Yeah. We like paying that government money. There you go. That's their taxes.
Yeah, which the government then uses to give their Walmart's employees food stamps so that Walmart employees can afford to shop at Walmart.
Pretty much, yes. Yes and yes.
I gave myself a headache.
It's self-defeating.
It's like that that power strip I shared on Facebook earlier.
Yeah. You plug it into itself and not understand why the damn computer won't come on.
Using the Trump tax breaks to pay the Trump tariffs.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll be back here in just a moment. We're going to talk about how often is crypto used for illicit transactions? Well, the DEA has an answer, and turns out JP Morgan's CEO is, well, an idiot. But we already knew that, didn't we? We'll be back with more of the Crypto Hour, brought to you by themotionproject.org here on The Call to Freedom in just a moment.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 Liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे।
I can't hear us either because I'm an idiot and I'm just turned it down. I'm serious. I'm just talking to my damn self. The lights are flashing. Like, hey, what's going on? I'm an idiot. I muted the mics when I was supposed to be unmuting them because I do that, Anyway, I'm lost.
So we were talking about Walmart and cutting grass.
Yeah. Well, actually, we were just about to switch to something a little bit different. See, everybody that I know talks about how, well, I don't want to get involved in that crypto thing, man. It's for drugs, man. That's what people use that for, for dope and for illicit things, and that's all it's really for. And then we were talking just the other day. We had the guy Jamie Dimon from the J.P. Morgan. He's like, crypto exists for money laundering and buying drugs. Well, guess what? We think he's an idiot. Guess who else thinks he's an idiot? The DEA. DEA agent says speculators use Bitcoin far more than criminals. Criminals were behind roughly 90% of Bitcoin transactions 5 years ago, a figure that's now declined to 10%.
Look, I have to reject those metrics in the first place, 90% and 10% both, because how are they determining that? Are they taking all of the arrests that they have made and asking them, okay, have you used Bitcoin? And then keeping track of, okay, this guy was arrested and he used Bitcoin to facilitate his transactions. Now, let's compare this to how many Bitcoin transactions were made during this year, and then we can have the exact actual number.
Right.
But even then, it wouldn't account for the people who they didn't get.
Well, that's according to a special agent from the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration who spoke to Bloomberg about changing trends in the relationship between the cryptocurrency and criminal activity. The volume has grown tremendously. The amount of transactions and the dollar value has grown tremendously over the years in criminal activity, but the ratio has decreased. The majority of transactions now are used for price speculation. The agent is quoted as saying, despite the shift from criminal use to investment and trading, though, the total volume of criminal Bitcoin transactions has still increased over the years as dark market activity has grown. It's just that the proportions have effectively swapped.
No, it hasn't. What's changed on the dark markets is that now everything is behind a Bitcoin gate. So you can't access the latest hacks or the latest ransomware or anything like that until you pay Bitcoin. And that wasn't the case 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's what's changed.
In fact, given this rapid growth and the interest for the different use cases of cryptocurrency, U.S. law enforcement has since caught on to the technology to some degree, using blockchain technology to trace cases of money laundering and illegal drug trafficking. Even so, Infante, the agent, maintained that U.S. law enforcement is ahead of the game, telling the publication, we still have ways of tracking them, and noting that at least for the time being, the majority of criminal dealings in cryptocurrency still occur on a public Bitcoin blockchain ledger. The blockchain actually gives us a lot of tools to be able to identify people. I actually want criminals to keep using them, she told Bloomberg.
Yeah. That's why criminals have switched to Monero.
And all other kinds of cryptocurrencies. Because they don't want you seeing what they're doing.
I mean, we covered that a few months ago, was that, the criminals had moved.
Yeah.
They were no longer using
Bitcoin. They don't use Bitcoin because it's not anonymous like they were sold on that it was. They were sold, it's anonymous. No, it's pseudonymous, and it's not even really pseudonymous.
Well, the pseudo means not really.
Yeah. Not really. Pseudo means, not really.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the new thing now, is like Bitcoin, it's all about the speculators. You don't see people, they use XMR. They use Monero. They use Zcash. They use Zclassic. And if they use Bitcoin, they're not sending it from a regular Qt wallet or a blockchain wallet or the wallet you can get from Bitcoin.com or Coin. They're doing it through like Wasabi wallets and Samurai wallets and coin tossers and salad tossers and all other kinds of stuff to cloak the transactions. They're doing whatever they can to keep the prying eyes of government off of their activities.
Yeah.
You know, what is that they call how's it worded in the law? Like documents and personal belongings, or I don't know. How's it worded in the Constitution?
Their effects.
Your personal effects. None of your damn business what I'm doing. And, you know, the Constitution says so, but, you know, they set that thing on fire like
they did
100 years ago, at least.
Yeah, I don't think it even made it that long.
What was it? The Whiskey Rebellion. That was the end of that.
Yeah. Oh, but, you know, if we just restored the Constitution,
right,
suddenly it would all work.
The Constitution is a document of violence that gives the government the right to steal from future generations without their consent. No, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, the Constitution itself didn't do that. And a lot of the people at the time that it was written argued against that sort of thing. Thomas Paine among them. Of course, he got sidelined by history, but that aside...
Yeah, they were like, he believes in aliens! He's a lunatic!
Yeah. But that aside...
you believe in government.
That was only added much, much later.
They didn't think that Hamilton was a lunatic and he believed in a central bank. Yeah. So, you know, like... there's so much... Like, oh, no, a central bank is not in any way abhorrent to your individual liberties and economic growth in this country.
Have you met my wife? The daughter of a central banking magnate.
Yeah. Oh, and my aunt, the Queen of Peru. Oh, good Lord. Ugh. Anyway, so when we get back here in just a short time, we're going to talk about, what everybody's noticing, the sharp decline in crypto prices. $30 billion lost just in the last few days. So we'll be back with that and a whole lot more when we get back here on the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Did you know you can listen to LRN.FM via our free-to-air satellite channels? We have channels over nearly all of North America and much of Africa. All you need is an affordable receiver and a dish as small as 30 inches. There are no monthly fees. Learn more at sat.lrn.fm. Plus, if you are a broadcaster or want to be one, this is a good delivery method for our content. See our coverage maps and get details at sat.lrn.fm. That's sat.lrn.fm. sat.lrn.fm.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at SurvivorMax.com.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
It's the Onion Radio News. A crazy man announces plans to stand in a doorway and yell at cars. This is Doyle Redland reporting. Dennis Fife, an Alhambra, California crazy man, held a press conference today to announce his intention to stand in the doorway of the office building at 2600 Kenilworth Avenue and yell at cars all day.
At approximately 9:30 a.m. on the day in question, shortly after I finish lunging at dogs, I will proceed to the front steps of the Simmons building and yell loudly for 9 hours. The screaming will be broken by a 15-minute fit of rigid catatonia, most likely in the late afternoon.
Among the topics Fife plans to address during his 9-hour rant, the ace of diamonds, bookshelves, the man trying to kill him, plastic bags in trees, Trapper John M.D., and papers everywhere. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News. Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.fm. Unasikiliza wito wa uhuru katika LRN.fm.
Rick? Are you far away or are you inside something? Is the camera? Is everything a camera?
Back to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Zencast studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And yes, call-in lines are always open. We've got 3 call-in lines on Discord. We've got somebody in call-in line 1 right now, somebody in call-in line number 2 right now. Remember, this is going out on live AM and FM radio waves, so if you drop F-bombs or anything like that, we will cut you immediately, dump you, and it will be as if you never came on the show. So don't be coming on with any craziness.
First.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so we have been talking. It is our Crypto Hour, brought to you by the Motion Project over at motionproject.org. And we were just about to get into the huge drop in crypto prices over the last few days. $30 billion lost in less than a week. It's a huge, huge drop. Bitcoin's gone from 8,000 all the way down, almost down to like 5,900 at some point earlier today, I believe. So it's been an absolute bloodbath. But first, we're going to go to RX. Hey, RX, how are you?
Hello?
Yes, you're RX. You're on the air with, this is Will Coley. What do you think, and why do you think it?
Just chilling, man. I'm from Spain.
Oh, very
awesome.
Are you into the cryptocurrency community?
Nah, mate.
Okay.
Got all my money in my house, and where can I start with crypto?
Where can you start?
Coinomi is a good place to start.
It's a good wallet, but it won't help you acquire any crypto.
Actually,
And
I think it has a thing in the Android wallets where you can actually use your bank card to purchase Bitcoin through the Coinomi wallet now. Yeah.
What kind of returns can I expect?
Well, it really just depends, you know.
I mean, if you bought earlier this morning, negative 10,
Right.
15%.
I'm waiting on the bounce. You know, the rule in crypto is always buy the dip, and what's going on right now is the dip. Crypto prices across the board have dropped 30%.
But you know, it's ill advised to get into cryptocurrency if your goal is to make money.
Yeah.
If your goal is to make money, you know, not to be condescending or anything like that, but you know, get a better job, buy stocks, things like that are designed to facilitate making money.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Nodes, staking, things like that, those are meant to generate an income. So if you're buying proof of work coins to hold, maybe that's not the best investment because it's a really volatile investment. You can make big gains, but not everybody has money that they can just be like, oh, well, you know what, I'm going to put $3,000 in this and hopefully I'll make $500 off of it and I won't lose my hat. Whereas staking is different. Even if the value of the coins drops, you're still getting paid every day. It may take longer before that investment brings you back to even, but you're working your way there. So like the Motion Project. Right now, a Motion Project node is going to cost you about $300. It's going to take you 100 days at current prices to make that $300 back.
I mean, that's not bad as far as a return investment goes.
So we'll move on to line number 2 with JMMA. How you doing today, JMMA? You're on the air. What are you thinking? Why do you think it?
Am I live or something?
You are
Yes, you are live.
All right. Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about one thing. All right. Do you guys know a YouTuber called Keemstar?
No,
I do not.
I do not.
Well, he's a very well-known YouTuber. It's like a news channel on YouTube or some shit like that, right? But the thing is, all right, I was Bitcoin mining and shit, doing my own business with Bitcoin mining.
All right, that's two. You can't say that on the air. We go out. We're on AM FM radio waves in rural Texas. So sorry about that, JMMA. Try again tomorrow. You get 2 tries, and you nailed 2 of them in 3 seconds. We had to dump twice. So moving right along, we've got Giovanni on with us. Thank you for calling in to the Call to Freedom. What do you think, Giovanni, and why do you think it? Hello, Giovanni going once. Giovanni going twice. Sold. All right, moving right along. So as I was saying before the calls started coming in, we've got a $30 billion drop in the markets. The collective market capitalization for all cryptocurrencies hit a new low for the year. The overall market cap...
That's scary, considering the first of the year.
The overall market cap is roughly $225 billion, representing a significant decline from the more than $800 billion witnessed in early January of this year.
I don't think it's over yet.
Well, among the developments driving the market turmoil are the fact that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission decided to punt a decision on a proposed Bitcoin exchange-traded fund. According to the figures compiled by CoinDesk, as much as $51 billion in market cap was lost in the last 7 days. Figures indicate as much as $30 billion or more in value was shed amid today's market actions. This amount indicates an 18% decline within the same time frame.
So it flew right off a cliff.
Yeah, market capitalization data only tells part of the story, though. Perhaps most tellingly, all the top 20 cryptocurrencies, as indicated on sites like CoinMarketCap, as well as on-chain FX, showed significant declines within the past 24 hours, accounting for an average loss of more than 14% during that period. Ethereum Classic, which should be in the midst of a roaring blast off to the moon, dropped 11% over the last 24 hours, going to below what it was just 3 days ago as people across the crypto community started moving their money into Ethereum Classic. The cryptocurrency has seen losses for about 10 days out of the last 11. A series of events that's not occurred since September of 2014. Now, we've got another call on the line. We've got, on line 2, we've got the Dog. Now, remember, Dog, we can't have any foul language. How you doing today, Dog? This is Will from the Call to Freedom. What do you think, and why do you think it?
Hello, is this live?
It is.
Yes, and back off your microphone just a little bit. No, you have a lot of distortion.
Oh,
all right. Well, thanks.
It's all right.
Thanks anyway. Get the microphone issue fixed, and we'll try again later.
Just turn the gain down on it, and move closer to it. That should negate the distortion. It's definitely clipping. And that's sending it into what is effectively overdrive.
Yeah. We can't understand a word you're saying. It sounds like you're screaming at us through a busted Ford speaker.
It reminds me of that movie, Birdemic.
No, it's the...
when they first walk into the scene and there's that waitress standing there. She just shouts hi randomly, and it's so distorted. It's like,
I was thinking more along the lines of the happy face at the restaurant where they can't hear a single word or understand anything that the lady that's trying to talk to them through the drive-through window is saying. So, there we go. All right. Well, Giovanni is back. So, Giovanni, can you hear us now? Nope. I guess Giovanni doesn't understand how this technology works. Anyway, cryptocurrency's seen losses. Bitcoin specifically has seen losses for 10 out of the last 11 days, a series of events that's not happened since September of 2014. Today's low represents a depreciation of 26.28% endured over this complete bearish stint. A result, 80% of the recent rally from Bitcoin's annual low gone in a puff of smoke. In sum, Bitcoin's price rallied $2,705 from June 24th to July 24th, 2,000 of which has completely disappeared in a puff of smoke.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
More of the Call to Freedom is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.33 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,210 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $21, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,501. Antiwar.com reports tensions between Saudi Arabia and Canada are soaring since a Friday statement in which Canada expressed serious concerns about Saudi Arabia arresting human rights activists. On Monday, Saudi Arabia expelled Canadian Ambassador Dennis Horrick. Saudi officials announced that they are suspending all flights to Toronto, freezing all new trade and investments in Canada, and are ending educational exchanges and are retaining its rights to take further actions against them. Trade between Canada and Saudi Arabia are limited at any rate. Canada buys some petrochemicals from the Saudis, and the Saudis have a deal with a Canadian unit of U.S. arms maker General Dynamics on armored vehicles. The Canadian Foreign Ministry does not appear to be backing down, saying they will continue to stand up for human rights and freedom of expression around the world. While the Saudis have relied on their international economic influence to throw their weight around in diplomatic disagreements, they are almost certainly not going to be able to drum up anti-Canadian sentiment to a great extent. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com. UPI reports a federal court ruled Tuesday that the mother of a teenager killed in Mexico by a U.S. Border Patrol agent shooting from across the border in Arizona can sue for damages. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued a 2-1 ruling denying Border Patrol agent Lonnie Schwartz qualified immunity, stating 16-year-old Jose Antonio Alana Rodriguez was protected against unreasonable searches and seizures, even though he was shot and killed in Mexico. Judge Andrew Kleinfeld wrote, based on the facts alleged in the complaint, Schwartz violated the Fourth Amendment. It is inconceivable that any reasonable officer could have thought that he or she could kill J.A. for no reason. Thus, Schwartz lacks qualified immunity. Schwartz was found not guilty in April of second-degree murder for the 2012 shooting, and a retrial is set to take place in October. In the criminal case, Schwartz said he was acting in self-defense against people throwing rocks through a border fence in Nogales, Arizona, when he shot Rodriguez in the back 10 times. Araceli Rodriguez, Jose's mother, argued her son was innocently walking down a street in Mexico and was not throwing rocks or engaging in any other illegal activity. To allow Rodriguez's mother to sue for damages, the Ninth Circuit Court ruled to extend the U.S. Supreme Court ruling of Bivens v. 6 unknown named agents of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, which held that a civil lawsuit can be filed against the federal government officials who violate the Fourth Amendment. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a trial in which a school groundskeeper alleged that his use of Monsanto's Roundup weed killer caused his terminal cancer will go to a California jury after lawyers for both sides delivered their closing arguments on Tuesday. Groundskeeper Dwayne Johnson is one of more than 5,000 plaintiffs across the United States who claim Monsanto's glyphosate-containing herbicides, including the widely used Roundup, cause cancer. His case, the first to go to trial, began in San Francisco's Superior Court of California 4 weeks ago. Johnson's lawyer, Brent Wisner, claimed Monsanto knew about glyphosate's cancer risk but decided to bury the information. Monsanto, a unit of Bayer AG, following a $62.5 billion acquisition by the German conglomerate, denies the allegation and says expert testimony on which Johnson and others rely does not satisfy any scientific or legal requirements. The US EPA in September 2017 concluded a decades-long assessment of glyphosate risk and found the chemical not likely carcinogenic to humans. The World Health Organization's cancer arm in 2015 classified glyphosate as probably carcinogenic to humans. The jury, which is expected to start deliberating on Wednesday, can decide to award punitive damages on top of the more than $39 million in compensatory damages Johnson is seeking. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
It's The Onion Radio News. The nation's last remaining themeless restaurant has closed. This is Doyle Redland reporting. A once vibrant era came to an end today when Pat's Place, the nation's last themeless restaurant, closed its doors in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. During the heyday of themeless restaurants, Pat's Place achieved a certain amount of notoriety for its unique non-themed food items and unadorned atmosphere. But according to owner Patrick Baines, the times have changed.
Lately, we've had only a handful of people coming in to gawk at our posterless walls and mundanely named menu items like hamburgers or pancakes, and then they go someplace like the Rainforest Cafe or Johnny Rockets to actually eat.
Plans are now in the works to convert the Pat's Place location into Cedar Rapids' 7th Patty-O Touchdown sports bar and good time internet grill. Doyle Redland for The Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is The Onion News Network.
You are listening to The Call to Freedom, live on LRN.FM. تستمعون إلى نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
Welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. It is the top of our third and final hour of your drive home broadcast today, live from the Zencash studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. And it's been a pretty good day. The call-in lines have been pretty lit. We're really happy about that. We've got lots of discussion in the Twitch. I like the fact that Discord, Twitch, all these things, they give us like measurable things so that we can see, because you know what's happening on the AM and FM and all that kind of, that's, as Tom likes to put it, it's what we like to call an agreed upon lie, as in they don't really know. They just give you a number and go, this is how many people we think are listening, and you go, okay, and then you give that agreed upon lie to your advertisers. And they say, well, how many people are listening? Well, these people say this many.
And we think they're correct.
So, and that's just how it works. So anyway, we do have a caller on the line from Manchester, England. We've got John Smith listening to us on Twitch. How you doing today, John?
Chilling, bro. Chilling.
So, what's on your mind? What do you think, and why do you think it?
Oh, I'm just want to call up and see what your opinion is on immigration in general.
Like in general?
I'm an open borders guy.
Yeah, borders are artificial constructs.
Yeah, I lived through the American immigration system's easiest route to citizenship with my wife. She came here as a student. Her father is a two-time Olympic gold medalist for the Kenyan Olympic team. He is he owns the private security firm that when like Tony Blair or the Clinton family travel in East Africa, so like Kenya, Somalia. The private security firm he owns is who they hire. Even with all of that, it took 8 years and $8,000 in government fees for me to get my wife her citizenship when we got married. And it wasn't like a walk in the park kind of thing. Like, I literally got letters in the mail over paperwork snafus, some that even the government themselves admitted were their own fault, where they were like, look, okay, you can either send us some more money. We're not going to tell you how much. Here's the government document number. Go look it up yourself. Send us that much money, or in 30 days, we'll send our men to your house to rip your wife out of the arms of your children. And that, I literally
nigger.
And there we go.
I don't understand people, man.
I don't either.
I mean, just so you know, we have a 4-second delay.
For real, yo.
You're not going to get something like that out on the air.
Not only is that not going to get out on the air, but neither is like 2 seconds of what I said before that. So it's literally, we can cut every time you said that out, plus the fact that you were ever even on the air at all. And we can cut it out on the live. We have a delay, you moron. Yeah, this is radio, stupid.
We are actually required, I believe, to have said delay.
But thank you for proving everything that Frankie Boyle says about the stupid people that live in Manchester, England.
I'm not going there. But I mean, they do have the NHS, and they did get rid of their guns, so they can't be too brilliant.
Yeah.
But they did give us Doctor Who.
Well, they have to defend their white English culture, and by white English culture, I mean a little bitty island that the only way they could be rich was by raping the rest of the world, and now they have what did they do? Oh yeah, that's right. Well, they created socialism.
We don't have anything against England. We were just looking for a reason to rip into that guy. So sorry about that, Lost fan. we like England quite a bit.
Stream reported for racism. Oh my God!
Hold on. Our stream was reported?
Yes. You snowflake panty waist sissies.
That is not going to help, Will.
Oh my God. British.
So the delay still sends it through on Twitch?
Yeah. It just doesn't go through on the radio waves.
Okay, well.
That's what that's for.
Can't win every battle.
No, I don't really.
But I mean, we dropped the guy as soon as he started being an idiot.
It doesn't matter. We could drop the F-bomb 4,000 times as long as I hit the button, and only the people on Twitch and Discord will hear it.
I'm just flabbergasted that we've been reported for racism because this random idiot called the show.
Well, no. It's not because of that. It's because I said something against England, and now, that's the way it works with these Tony Robinson worshiping snowflakes. It is, yeah. That's the way it works with these Tony Robinson worshiping snowflakes.
That's
they can't
totally
handle.
Different guy.
No, it's Alex, because I said this is basically the other guy proved Frankie Boyle right about everything he said about idiots from Manchester, and then his response is Frankie Boyle is a Scottish traitor. So
Tony Robinson is an American athlete.
No, Tommy Robbins or whatever his name is, he's some idiot in England.
So we got reported for being racist against England?
Yeah.
by a guy who called someone a dirty Scottish traitor?
Yeah. Snowflake.
I just want to make sure I understand this whole thing correctly.
He probably has a red and white cross flag in his living room.
It reminds me of the show I watched a long time ago. This guy who got sent to Human Resources for saying something that was bigoted. And it was a black guy who was reporting it, and it turned out to be that they had said something about him being Irish, and so the Human Resources Department was like,
"Guess what?
Why are you here?"
I'm Scottish, so I'm Scottish. So yeah, I have no love for England myself. My family's surname was McCullough originally.
Yes, what we said about Manchester was. It was hyperbole.
Yeah,
I mean, no doubt.
Some British people can't handle hyperbole.
See, there you go again. We don't have anything against the English or the people of the United Kingdom. Well, he does.
I do,
but I don't.
I do. Why wouldn't you? Look around you.
Because
Just look
what-
at
because
look
how
at
they
the
conduct
state of the
themselves.
Commonwealth.
Yeah,
look
but-
at the state of the Commonwealth countries.
Yeah, but what they do has nothing to do with me. I mean,
But it
if
does.
they want to
Their
live in a
idiocy
socialist
affects the global
hellhole-
economy.
Only
We're
barely.
in Iran.
I mean, they're
Our
like a
whole relationship with Iran comes because England went to FDR and was like, "Look, we need you to get in the Middle East because we have ran ourselves dry chasing these Arabs around the desert. So we need you to spend your money doing it now. Could you
But
do
see,
that for us?"
That was a white thing.
And FDR was like, yes, we will pour our money down that hole that you've been pouring your money down for the last 400 years. Yeah, let's get involved in the Crusades. Yeah, we'll have America. We'll be the new Crusaders. That's a great idea. Sure. And now what? Just the Iraq War alone, $3 trillion later, the American economy is based off of
15 years.
Yeah.
15 freaking
17.
years, man. No, Afghanistan was 2001. Iraq was 2003.
Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, $3 trillion. To do what? Because we got ourselves involved, and basically England was like, we don't have the money to do this anymore. We have broken ourselves.
Our colonialism didn't work.
It's falling
Who would have
apart.
thought?
So what we need, America, what we need is we need you to come in here and take this over because it's falling apart, but we got to keep these brown people in line. And we don't have the money to do it anymore. So could you come take care of it for us? And FDR and Eisenhower were like, yeah, it's a great idea. We should totally do that. Let's go overthrow Mossadegh and put in the Shah. That will definitely not have any bad repercussions in the future. Couldn't possibly have any kind of negative future repercussions.
What is blowback again?
Well, yeah, right. Maybe we should have had the CIA study that 50 years earlier. Could have prevented a lot of unnecessary expenditures.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to.
It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Angel Clark, and you're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
Yet, turn away now and ask your closest relative to shoot you in the back of the head. This has been the biggest decision of maybe the last 50 years, maybe since the Second World War. I don't know about you, but anytime I hear that there's a big decision to be taken, I often think to myself, oh, I hope no Americans are involved in taking that decision. I hope no one from a country that made 7 Fast and the Furious movies has any say in this. Donald Trump sort of looks like someone playing a president in a porno. It's not just that he's the worst person for the job, he might be the worst mammal. Would you have bothered with the hair if you had his face? If your face looked like a novelty jug that was made in a secure unit pottery class. People were saying, oh, he can't build a wall between America and Mexico. The Mexicans have started building it themselves. Trump alienated the Republican base. There were Republican politicians who didn't vote for him. Those are some of the worst people in the world. How can you lose them? There are people who didn't vote for Trump who would have voted for Magneto.
All right, welcome back into the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Definitely one of my favorite comedians, Frankie Boyle, Scottish, loudmouth, so offensive that he's been fined, kicked off the BBC, I want to say 2, maybe 3 times.
Awesome.
The last time he did a special where he was hosting live at the Apollo, he goes on stage and he's there and he's like, yeah, I'm as shocked as you are. I'm even here. So anyway, we had planned originally to have a talk about grammar, why grammar is important and what it even is. So I figure that's what we're going to do. We kind of got derailed for the first couple segments, but we're going to get back on track here. This is from Zaytuna College at Berkeley University on why should we study grammar? Why?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Yeah, I know.
Most of us, if we have educated English, can read Shakespeare. Right? I mean, that's pretty remarkable if you think about that. If we have educated Arabic, we can read from centuries ago. because Arabic is much more preserved. Because I read books that are 1,000 years old and I understand them. How's that possible? Because I can't read English from 1,000 years ago. It'd be totally impossible. Mm-hmm.
Can you explain the argument of grammar being a negative thing? Like,
Okay, well, a couple of things. One, in Aristotle, in his book called The Nicomachean Ethics, he said that you should only seek precision in a subject to the degree with which the subject allows it. So in other words, you can't be as precise in language as you can in mathematics. If I say 2 + 2 = 4, it's very precise. It has a very precise meaning. 2 + 2 = 4. You put 2 and 2 together, you get 4. Nobody's going to debate that. But when you go into language, words are ambiguous. And so it doesn't have the precision that mathematics has. So what happened is grammar looks at things, it groups things together that actually aren't always that similar. And he points that out. He said some of these rules relate to things that he said they're really just helpful. In the 20th century, you had a very strong movement of linguistics where people started studying language in a completely different way. And they determined that there weren't 8 parts of speech. There's literally hundreds of parts of speech. And even though you get into that in grammar because it divides nouns into different types of nouns, like a common noun, a proper noun, an abstract noun, all these type of things. So, but generally they started doing that, and they felt that this grammar was very limited. And so they just left linguistics for a specialization, and then why teach people these things that aren't really accurately describing what's happening? That was one argument, because the first major arguments against grammar came from linguists. But then you just got progressive education that just felt a lot of rote memorization was not good for people, and kids should just learn the process. And they'll learn grammar through reading, learning how to read. They'll know what sounds right and what doesn't. These were the arguments that were made. And so, but again, when you get into complex language, which a great deal of worthwhile literature is written in, sometimes, like Aristotle is not hard to read in terms of vocabulary, right, Dr. Mohan? Yeah. I mean, the vocabulary is pretty straightforward, but he packs so much meaning into sentences that sometimes they're really hard to unpack. And that's true for our scholars as well.
Sorry. So, Arya?
Yeah, I have to agree with the linguist here. I did learn most of my ability to use grammar from reading and not from schools.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I know how to use commas and semicolons and dashes. And most people didn't. I mean, sure, in theory, you could have a teacher teach that in this sterile, dry environment, but the same tools or the same information is right there in any book. So again, like we were discussing yesterday, we need to teach kids a love of reading, and how to write and how to read will be something they learn by doing, which is the best way to learn anything.
Yeah. Absolutely. And, I learned most of my grammar the same way. I didn't learn it from school. I learned it from reading books because, that's been one of the things that's been there for me my whole life, is this desire to read. Like when I am on the, wow, the call-in lines are lit up tonight. When I'm in the back of the classroom in like 8th grade, and I'm supposed to be paying attention to the teacher, I'm reading the Tao Te Ching. I'm reading a book. I'm not really engaging in the classroom, and I did that all through school because school was boring. I could learn more reading books in the back of the classroom than I could from listening to the same regurgitated crap that gets spit out at me every single year, all the way through grammar school, all the way through grade school, all the way through high school. Same history class, same math class, same everything from 5th grade till you graduate. So anyway, when we get back here, we're going to continue on with a discussion of grammar. And it's not being used anymore? Or how do people learn it? Why do people need to know it? And what importance does it hold in logical discussion when we get back?
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
If you're David, a few well-chosen words can help level the playing field with Goliath. I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com. Recently, I saw a Yellow Pages ad for an appliance repair company, and the headline read, "Why wait for Sears?" If you're going to the Yellow Pages, the Dead Sea Scrolls of advertising, you're ready to buy right now. So this is an attention-grabbing message. And how about the plumber whose radio ad says, "Call by noon Thursday and we'll be there Saturday at no extra cost"? Smart guy. Most plumbing firms give their crew the weekend off. This one gives them Sunday and Monday off. In the words of a respected advertising executive, cut to the chase, make it quick, and tell me exactly what you can do for me, especially if you're looking for work. For more tips on critical communication skills for the way things are now, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Catch the Call to Freedom at its new time, weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. The Call to Freedom is the only live drive-home call-in show in the U.S. with a segment devoted to cryptocurrencies. Crypto Hour, brought to you by Helium.com, live from Vertcoin Studios in New Hampshire. Learn about what makes cryptocurrencies so great and why you should care about them. Updates on new coins and ICOs, and warnings of scams. Plus, hear from traders, whales, developers, and big names in the crypto world. You can also win crypto coins or tokens every episode. Just listen for the faucet sound and be the 5th caller to get free Dash, Litecoin, Vertcoin, Verge, or other cryptocurrencies. The Call to Freedom with Will and Aria, featuring Crypto Hour. Broadcast internationally through our BitPlus network satellite. Weekdays from 4 to 7 p.m. on LRN FM.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
You're listening to The Call to Freedom on LRN.FM.
تستمتعون إلى برنامج نداء للحرية مباشرة على LRN.FM.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Zencast studio here in beautiful Keene, New Hampshire. It is another beautiful day here in the Shire. And, well, we've been talking about grammar. We've been continuing on. We started earlier this week with, we decided since Zaytuna College was willing to put together some great clips about to kind of showcase their fact that they are the only American university teaching trivium-based logic to their freshman students. Things that they should be learning in elementary school, but our school system simply doesn't teach logic to kids because, well, how can you fill their brains with worthless socialist tripe if they understand concepts like logic?
Yeah, pretty much exactly that. And, to reiterate the point, you do have to have some kind of way of reading and understanding the written word. And the best way to do that is going to be to want to do that, to love reading. And by reading, you will comprehend it and you will, exercise your thinking faculties, which is certainly more important than understanding the rules of grammar. That's not to say that grammar is unimportant. What's important about the written word is that the reader understands what you're actually attempting to say. And having a common rule of grammar is just kind of similar to having common definitions in that sense. It doesn't really matter whether I'm using a word correctly or incorrectly, or whether I'm using grammar correctly or incorrectly, as long as the people receiving the message from me understand what it is that I'm trying to say.
Anyway, so the phone lines have basically been taken over by idiots from England who
trolls
like to say the N-word on the air, who don't, I guess they don't understand that, like, while I may be on the air right now, I have this phone here and I have a button that mutes what I'm doing and lets me talk to them on the phone while they act like idiots. And then there's another button I push to let them actually on the air. So, when I say hi and you go into a blind, retarded tirade dropping the F-bomb, I just listen for a while and kind of chuckle. And then you pick up the phone and start saying the N-word over and over again. I chuckle some more. And then, I have a really big laugh because you think you're actually getting on the air, and then I hang up the phone, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, but you're not even getting on the Twitch, man.
No. They're not even hearing you on Twitch. Nobody hears you. Just me. Idiots.
Yeah, and we're from the South, man. We've heard so much
For
worse.
real, yo. My mom was married to a member of the Aryan Brotherhood. Trust me, I've seen and heard worse than you can ever dream of spitting out. And it doesn't impress me.
No. Baraka seems to think that, it's about them attempting to rebel, and that's the easiest way for them to do it. Fight the system.
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to do this, so let's all do it. And that's the big no word that you're not allowed to say. When I had the references, I very nearly typed it out on Discord. And I was like, no, I'm just going to reword the entire sentence to avoid it entirely because it will trigger someone, even if I just reference the word.
Before we run out of time, I want to get this out because evidently the idiots that are listening also need a little assistance with the English language. So,
grammar is basically it's the rules of speaking and writing. It's the rules that and those rules. There are two versions. One is called prescriptive grammar, and the other is called descriptive. Most grammarians today go under the category of descriptive. They actually do not believe that you can impose rules. They do believe in conventional language and that you should uphold conventional language, and so they'll point out that you have a verb-subject agreement problem in that sentence. But if you're speaking in the inner city with a verb-subject, I don't have any moral authority to tell you you can't speak like that. That's not proper English. Because for that person, that's how that person speaks, and that's how that community speaks.
Would you treat it as like another language?
Well, it's a form, it's a dialect of standard English is the English that educated people speak in America. And then there's dialectical English. Now, some people can speak, they're bilingual.
I'm glad he said
so
that,
you
not
have
me.
what Dave Chappelle calls interview English. You know, so an African American who goes to an interview, he might speak Ebonics at home and with his friends, but he or she knows standard English. So when they go for the interview, they're not going to speak Ebonics because they might not get the job.
So what's prescriptive?
Prescriptive is where you argue that there are rules and those rules should be obeyed. In Arabic, there are definitely, we believe in prescriptive grammar. In English, prescriptive grammar should be upheld in conventional standard English to facilitate communication. But it's important not to denigrate other people for speaking non-conventional dialects. We shouldn't denigrate them because that's, first of all, the reason I speak standard English is because I had 2 highly educated parents and I went to reasonably good schools. That's the reason. So it's not like I'm not superior.
It's out of your control.
It really was out of my control in that way. I was fortunate because it affords me a lot of things that are not afforded to people that did not have those opportunities. And that's why it's important not to judge people because of their language. Or even to correct them is rude. Like, it's just adab not to correct people. If I'm a teacher and we're here, then I can correct you like that if you're trying to learn grammar and in your writing and things like that. But if it's conversation and you're just talking to somebody, to correct them is arrogance.
Well,
I don't even think of the spoken word in terms of grammar because the way that we speak is so improvised and so filled with and improperly started sentences that begin with contractions and pauses and commas and semicolons all over the place.
Because you know, all those things. There's no, it's not proper.
And I would
write
say
like
that's the issue with Facebook and Twitter is that it's causing people to begin writing like that.
No, people have written like that. I read
the uneducated, maybe.
No, Richard P. Kennedy. He wrote Toy Soldiers. He wrote like that. He would write in dialectical English for characters. It's a part of character design.
Yeah, but I mean that's dialogue within a story, so that's going to follow its own rules anyway.
Okay. Because I've actually seen, that's one of the things that I think is fun. As a Southerner, as somebody from East Tennessee, I grew up around what they call mountain talk. And it literally is, it's another language. We're not, you know, it's our own version of English. That
it's like trying to understand a French person who lives in New Orleans. I mean,
exactly. Patois. Patois, exactly. It is a form of patois. In Arabic, they have it too. Egyptians speak a form of patois, like a pidgin language. The J sound is a G sound. An Arab from Syria will call Egyptian Arabic gutter language. The same way that like a posh person from England will call Scouse gutter language. Or a person from Beverly Hills will call Ebonics from South Florida gutter language. I mean, it's that, like he said, it's kind of it's a cultural arrogance that's connected to language. And every culture has it. Anyway, when we get back, we'll continue on with our cannabis news. Don't go anywhere.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Did you know you can get news updates about what's happening with the Liberty Radio Network delivered in the way you prefer? You can sign up for our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. Plus, you can stay in the loop by joining our Facebook profile at facebook.lrn.fm or follow us at Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm. It's all free, so sign up now at updates.lrn.fm for news updates delivered to your email box, facebook.lrn.fm to follow our Facebook page, and twitter.lrn.fm to receive our tweets.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Imagine someone in your community getting in their car, turning on the radio, and hearing the Liberty Radio Network. You can make that vision a reality with your own micro radio station. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how you can put our programs on the air in your area. You can have LRN.FM running around the clock, and you can even add in your own local shows. Building a radio station is simple, but programming isn't. That's where LRN.FM comes in. Learn more at broadcast.lrn.fm. That's broadcast.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You are listening to the Call to Freedom on LRN.FM. आप सुन रहे हैं स्वतंत्रता की पुकार सिर्फ और सिर्फ LRN.FM पे.
This song goes out to Jerry Garcia and Bob Marley. All my friends are stoners, lighting up all of the time. Everybody has a mason jar. Can you guess what I put in mine? We all go.
All right, welcome back here to the Call to Freedom here on LRN.FM. Broadcasting live from our Zencast studio, it is your only source for cannabis news in the libertarian space, which I'm just so disappointed that I can say that. Our little bitty radio show is your only source for regular updates on cannabis in the libertarian community. All these big legalization movements, they're all run by the left. All of them.
Yeah.
We read their articles, and they all sound like they were written by the left. And that's because the left has taken the lead on an issue that we've been fighting for since the 70s. That's pathetic.
Yeah.
That we didn't put these things together before.
I mean, it's not surprising, though, because that would distract from philosophizing on Facebook.
Right. Listen to this. Wick says, what's with English alt-right people listening to a redneck Muslim in Keene, New Hampshire at 1:45 on a Wednesday? Nothing better to do. Anyway, interesting story here. Despite legalization, cannabis arrests are on the rise in Washington, D.C. Due to budget restrictions imposed by Congress, the District of Columbia is barred from constructing a retail structure for legal weed, allowing police to continue making racially charged pot arrests. Residents of D.C. welcomed the legal growth and possession of adult-use cannabis way back in 2015. Now, 3 years since implementing the first recreational weed law on America's eastern coast, D.C. police statistics show steep increases in marijuana arrests.
That doesn't even make sense.
With nearly 1,000 people charged with cannabis crimes last year alone. According to a deep dive into the new statistics from Marijuana Moment, DC's Metropolitan Police recorded 926 marijuana arrests in 2017, 250 more than in 2016, or a statistical increase of 37%. That means after marijuana was made legal, there was a 37% increase in arrests.
What justification are the police giving for this?
Well, of those ensnared in pot-related police encounters, 403 were charged with distribution, suggesting that a lack of licensed distribution in retail marketplaces is pushing cannabis users to purchase their stashes on the black market. Well, if there's no not black market, then where the hell are you supposed to get it?
Yeah.
Which is the whole point of this kind of thing. It happens over and over again. Colorado and Oregon, they did it right. They legalized, boom, here's your stores. But everybody else is doing this other thing where they're like, okay, it's legal, but you have to buy it at a store. We'll open them eventually.
Yeah.
So now you've effectively like, well, we passed the law, so there's nothing for you to lobby against anymore. Well, yeah, but you passed the law like 4 years ago. Well, yeah, but we passed the law, so there's nothing else to fight about now. Yeah, but there's no stores. We'll get to that eventually. We're going to keep arresting people.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the tragedy of it, is that, you know, it is the pot dealer on the street who can't afford to get the licensing anyway.
Well, thanks to congressional interference prohibiting the District of Columbia from regulating marijuana rather than collecting tax revenue and ensuring product safety, we're wasting resources and wreaking havoc on young people's lives with continued arrests for marijuana use, says Caitlin Boker, policy manager for Drug Policy Alliance. It's absurd that despite legalization in the district, MPD continues to make such arrests. Since D.C.
Hold on, because pot is still illegal federally, but in the federal government's actual district, it's legal.
Yes.
Go America.
Since Washington, D.C. is technically a district and not a state, the city's annual spending budget has to be rubber stamped by Congress before any money is actually spent. So the voters and the mayor, you know, that whole city structure is really just kind of, what's the word?
A circle jerk.
Exactly. So it means nothing. So the city says, we're not going to prosecute this anymore. And DC says, well, yeah, but you don't have a right to have an opinion anyway. So, like, you say whatever you want. We don't really care.
They're our own Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Well, Puerto Rico is our Puerto Rico, but there are other Puerto Rico.
Exactly. Let's see here. So while city leaders have fought for a regulated marijuana marketplace every year since DC residents voted. Let me say that one more time. Referendum, as in the people who live there. DC residents voted to legalize the sweet leaf. Leaders on Capitol Hill have rejected those proposals at every turn, leaving district residents and tourists with few options to obtain legal weed. Well, legally, that is. Under initiative, so I got an idea. Scrap the tax and regulate model and just let people open stores.
Yeah.
Oh my God, problem solved.
Let people grow this plant and Step out of the way.
Deregulate 100%. You want the federal government to not be able to say, well, you can't open pot stores because we have to give you, then say, you know what? DC's not going to do it then. We're going to let private businesses do it.
Yep.
Here's your, it's $20 for application fee. Here you go. Boom, done. Problem solved. But see, DC's very liberal. So they want the control.
Right.
So it's basically a pissing contest between a federal government that wants control and a liberal city government that wants control. And they're basically neither one of them is willing to give because giving means less money. And less control. And less control. And the left is like, well, but we don't want to turn it over to the free market. We want control. And the rights, but and DC is like, well, but we don't want to turn it over to free, freedom, because, well, then we can't control things.
I mean, that's what the federal government does. I mean, that's what state governments do. They all have this. Our Constitution was literally written with the goal of causing government to get in its own way. So I guess at least in that regard, it works, but that's the only regard that it works. And even then, they have plenty of ways to get around that. But yeah, our government gets in our government's way all the time. I mean, that's by design.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, with this, we're talking about repealing bad laws and not creating more bad laws. I mean, we would want them to get in each other's way to keep them from creating bad laws. But as far as repealing them, no, we'd like them to be able to do that with minimal infighting and bickering and Robert's Rules of Order crap.
Right? I take it you've been to a national convention. Well, it says here, under Initiative 71, the district's 2014 legalization law allows 21-year-old adults and older are allowed to grow up to 6 plants at home and gift up to 1 ounce of weed to other consenting grown-ups. But with strict homeowner laws preventing most residents from setting up a grow-op in their guest room, the few cultivators willing to part with the product for free, an underground gifting economy has emerged, with unlicensed distributors offering weed as an add-on to high-priced juices, T-shirts, and other non-cannabis products. Over the past couple of years, though, DC cops have honed their attention on pop-up cannabis events and other gift economy loopholes, focusing police power and local tax dollars on recriminalizing a drug that district residents have already legalized. I'm alarmed that DC has nearly 1,000 marijuana arrests 3 years after citizens overwhelmingly voted to legalize adult-use cannabis, says Adam Ettinger, spokesman for the DC-based cannabis advocacy group DCMJ. I'm just going to end this with one thing. Vote harder, idiots. That's what'll fix it, because that's what fixed the problem to start with, right? Just go out and vote harder. Vote a little harder, because as we can see, the powers that be, they give a damn what you say when you vote.
Clearly.
3 years later.
Just as we learned in Oklahoma.
And Florida. Oh, wait. And New York's finding out right
Georgia.
now. And Georgia. Oh, my goodness. It's like
almost like there's a pattern.
I'll be damned. Don't go anywhere, guys. Free Talk Live is coming up next.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
The three most important things you can do for LRN.FM are: 1. Let your friends know you're listening to LRN.FM on your social networking profile. 2. Buy the things you buy online through shop.lrn.fm. 3. Give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm. It's my firm belief that the AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented groups. Support all your favorite organizations, but make sure you give $5 a month to the AMP program at amp.lrn.fm.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
You're 6 minutes away from a live episode of Free Talk Live, brought to you by freekeen.com. Listen live at freetalklive.com.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Wednesday, August 8th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.33 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,210 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $21, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,501. Antiwar.com reports tensions between Saudi Arabia and Canada are soaring since a Friday statement in which Canada expressed serious concerns about Saudi Arabia arresting human rights activists. On Monday, Saudi Arabia expelled Canadian Ambassador Dennis Horrick. Saudi officials announced that they are suspending all flights to Toronto, freezing all new trade and investments in Canada, and are ending educational exchanges and are retaining its rights to take further actions against them. Trade between Canada and Saudi Arabia are limited at any rate. Canada buys some petrochemicals from the Saudis, and the Saudis have a deal with a Canadian unit of U.S. arms maker General Dynamics on armored vehicles. The Canadian Foreign Ministry does not appear to be backing down, saying they will continue to stand up for human rights and freedom of expression around the world. While the Saudis have relied on their international economic influence to throw their weight around in diplomatic disagreements, they are almost certainly not going to be able to drum up anti-Canadian sentiment to a great extent. Zencash is the world's first private, distributed, and reliable platform for communications, transactions, and publishing. Zencash has the ability to use both transparent and shielded transactions, with shielded transactions using zero-knowledge proofs. Zencash features global governance with inclusive decision-making, reliable funding for continuous improvements, and documentation and wallets in many languages that are available for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com. UPI reports a federal court ruled Tuesday that the mother of a teenager killed in Mexico by a U.S. Border Patrol agent shooting from across the border in Arizona can sue for damages. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued a 2-1 ruling denying Border Patrol agent Lonnie Schwartz qualified immunity, stating 16-year-old Jose Antonio Alana Rodriguez was protected against unreasonable searches and seizures, even though he was shot and killed in Mexico. Judge Andrew Kleinfeld wrote, based on the facts alleged in the complaint, Schwartz violated the Fourth Amendment. It is inconceivable that any reasonable officer could have thought that he or she could kill J.A. for no reason. Thus, Schwartz lacks qualified immunity. Schwartz was found not guilty in April of second-degree murder for the 2012 shooting, and a retrial is set to take place in October. In the criminal case, Schwartz said he was acting in self-defense against people throwing rocks through a border fence in Nogales, Arizona, when he shot Rodriguez in the back 10 times. Araceli Rodriguez, Jose's mother, argued her son was innocently walking down a street in Mexico and was not throwing rocks or engaging in any other illegal activity. To allow Rodriguez's mother to sue for damages, the Ninth Circuit Court ruled to extend the U.S. Supreme Court ruling of Bivens v. 6 unknown named agents of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, which held that a civil lawsuit can be filed against the federal government officials who violate the Fourth Amendment. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. You can join the Fans program for as little as $1 per month through Patreon and get perks like ad-free versions of FPP Radio News and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. Reuters reports a trial in which a school groundskeeper alleged that his use of Monsanto's Roundup weed killer caused his terminal cancer will go to a California jury after lawyers for both sides delivered their closing arguments on Tuesday. Groundskeeper Dwayne Johnson is one of more than 5,000 plaintiffs across the United States who claim Monsanto's glyphosate-containing herbicides, including the widely used Roundup, cause cancer. His case, the first to go to trial, began in San Francisco's Superior Court of California 4 weeks ago. Johnson's lawyer, Brent Wisner, claimed Monsanto knew about glyphosate's cancer risk but decided to bury the information. Monsanto, a unit of Bayer AG, following a $62.5 billion acquisition by the German conglomerate, denies the allegation and says expert testimony on which Johnson and others rely does not satisfy any scientific or legal requirements. The US EPA in September 2017 concluded a decades-long assessment of glyphosate risk and found the chemical not likely carcinogenic to humans. The World Health Organization's cancer arm in 2015 classified glyphosate as probably carcinogenic to humans. The jury, which is expected to start deliberating on Wednesday, can decide to award punitive damages on top of the more than $39 million in compensatory damages Johnson is seeking. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
A job applicant totally nails an interview with the person who will make his life a living hell for the next 5 years. And adjusting several sliders on a recording studio's mixing console pays off big time. This is the Onion Week in Review. This week, a study published by researchers at Johns Hopkins University revealed a direct correlation between breastfeeding and knowing exactly what's best for other people at all times. Overwhelming evidence indicated that the moment mothers begin breastfeeding, they develop a highly honed sense of what is wrong with others' approach to life, and were able to loudly enumerate those faults with total confidence in their accuracy. Researchers noted that the practice greatly boosted a young mother's immunity to the viewpoints of others. And in this week's Tech Report, a startup is very casual about its dress code and benefits. In other news, the Secretary of Interior says knocking down the Rocky Mountains could really open up the nation, and a woman is not going to let her husband of 60 years